Today I'm going to show you a new 5-minute platinum called Do Not Crash. This is a game from a developer with a questionable history, and it's impossible not to put on my tinfoil hat. Do Not Crash is the first game from the development team of Klovako after they were in danger of being kicked off the PlayStation platform nearly 6 months ago. Now there's some shadiness here that may or may not exist, but it's worth taking a look, and honestly I kind of like your opinion on this. Now let's start off by going back in time, 6 months ago in fact, when PlayStation updated their guidelines to prohibit spam and duplicative content. The part I want to highlight in that policy is the second bullet point, which states the following is being prohibited, and I quote, multiple concepts and product variants published by individual partners that have duplicative functionality or experiences differentiated only by minor variances of functionality or assets. Klovako is guilty of this with their Journey games. They released 30 different games, not including regional stacks, over a 3-month period. Think about that. That's one new game every 3 days. Here are 3 quick examples. Now, why weren't all these games delisted if they broke the spam policy, you might be asking? Well, because these new guidelines were put in place because of Klovako, along with a handful of other identical studios who were all doing the same thing. Allegedly, Klovako and Webnetics are even owned by the same family. Now, jumping back into Do Not Crash gameplay, you may be looking at this and thinking to yourself that they must have learned from their earlier shovelware days. This game is fairly basic, but it looks like they've decided to stay in compliance with the new guidelines for now. Just as long as they don't make 10 more clones of this, they'll probably be fine. But that's when I stumbled across something weird. You see, I came across a YouTube short of a video game called Boom Car. This came to Android in 2019. It's no longer on the Android store, and I can only find this one single clip in the entirety of the internet plus a web page that proves its existence. It's the same game, down to the font and everything. The thing is, Klovako didn't exist in 2019. In fact, it wasn't until June of last year they formed, so it's probably okay for you guys to put on your tinfoil hats now as well. Clearly, Klovako didn't make this game, or at least while under the Klovako name. It's possible they bought the rights to Boom Car, or bought either the studio or probably just the assets, probably for next to nothing. It's also possible they purchased the source code from the Unity store, although in most of those cases, developers will alter the source code so that it fits within their own game design and vision. But it's also possible they bought the license and just uploaded the game as is, making it an asset flip. It's impossible to know for sure, and ordinarily I would overlook something as little as this, but their past decisions to spam the marketplace makes it hard for me to presume innocence, and I'm not at all suggesting they've done anything illegal. But technically, this is a duplicative game, but since the original is not on PlayStation, it doesn't violate the new guidelines, although it could violate trademark or copyright laws. In this case, I suspect the simplest answer is probably correct, and that is they bought the game as is, with the license, and are presenting it as original content. But I do want to ask you this. If Klovako made this in 2019, how did they devolve into this 2 years later?